Welcome back to another episode of the High Altitude Show. I'm your host with the most, the often imitated, never duplicated, Dr. BOA, aka Book of Alpha Running here in the Alpha Sphere. Once again, to get it in with the Alpha Men. I appreciate y'all joining me here, man. Back in the battlefield for the real, the Alpha Sphere. Mo Hall was good with your homie. First on deck, Von Wick, what up? Tack, man, I see you in the building, homie. Almighty M is in the building. Good leave. ATL up. Peace up, A-Town down, man. LOA, what's up, my brother? See you in the building, young bro. Abdullah, what up, man? AVP, what up with you? LG, I see you in the building, man. Thomas Madrina, I see you in the building, bro. What up with you? As you can see, gentlemen, we're going to have a money discussion today, which is something I think we ought to do on Hump Day. You know what I'm saying? Hump Day with Hustle Man. You understand? I mean, he talking to a brother who's got money in several different ways throughout my lifespan, man. Some of them positive, others, I kind of regret a tad bit because of the destruction I did to my environment. But that's neither here nor there. We all live and learn and we grow. And what I want to talk to you men about today is being debt free. See what I'm saying? And now when I say debt, I mean personal debt. Business debt is different from personal debt. Totally different. So what we're going to talk about today is personal debt. You want to become debt free. Because if you're not debt free, you're simply working or hustling or grinding to pay someone else's bills. That's it. You're living a lifestyle where you're convincing yourself that you're enjoying things that you can't even afford. And let me tell you something. No matter how much you enjoy that car or that boat or that bike or those other toys or those expensive clothes or that jewelry, no matter how much you enjoy any of that, when your ass is broke, none of that stuff can make you paid. See what I'm saying? As good as those things feel, they cannot overcome the feeling of being broke. And that's the reality of it. You have to think about debt as the enemy. It is absolutely the enemy. So let's talk about this, man. Debt is a game, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me give y'all a little backstory here. We live in a country right now, man, that has no money. The United States is broke. It's been broke for a long time. That's why the deficit is so high. That's why China's so pissed. That's why everything you get is made in China. That's why all our companies have moved, our factories and manufacturing companies have moved over to Asia. That's why. Because the U.S. has no money. You are the money for the U.S. Your debt. Your debt feeds the economy. That $250,000 loan that you got for, that mortgage loan you got for a house, that feeds the economy. You paying that every day. See, this is the thing. You got loaned money that you never saw. When you go get a loan, a home loan, let's say that. And I use this one because this is something that most people, look at as positive. So I use this one. When you go get that $300,000 loan, you never see that money. You never see it. The only money that's ever exchanged hands is your money when you pay it out. So you have this fictitious amount of money that's just not there. And they're banking on the fact that you're going to sign an agreement to pay that money that isn't there. So that $300,000 it's not even in existence until you make it and pay it. You got that $150,000, $200,000 vehicle. Hey man, whatever it costs to make that vehicle, it's not there. The money doesn't exist. That car is just sitting on a lot. That car is on a lot on consignment pretty much. And you got to pay that car. That's why the fees and rates and things are so high when you get these things. Depending on what your interest rate is, man, you could end up paying $500,000, well, $480,000, $490,000 for a $250,000 home over a 30-year mortgage. And I know some people look at that and say, hey, man, well, at least you're a homeowner. Man, you pay double for it. I don't understand how anyone can look at a situation and pay double for something and think they got a good deal and think they should be happy about it. For me, the math doesn't add up. I don't give a fuck about the stuff. The math doesn't add up. So Let's get into this thing, man, and talk some real talk here, man. First thing you have to do, man, if you want to be debt free, the first thing you have to do is you got to sit down and make a set of goals, but you got to make debt free goals. You got to sit down and make a set of goals of what you would do if you were debt free. Now, how do you do that? You eliminate all of the things you have that are debt. Think about your credit card debt. Think about, now, man, think about your car. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into these things in a minute here. Think about your car or your cars or your trucks, because most people have two or three vehicles, that they're paying car notes on right now. So look at those things and eliminate those expenditures, and then make a set of goals of what you could accomplish if you didn't have to pay that money out. Always look at that set of goals. Put it on the refrigerator, put it on your bathroom mirror, put it on your bedroom mirror. Look at this set of goals, this list of goals, and think about what your life could be if you could pursue those goals versus paying all of your money out on some shit that's depreciating in value every year. And that's not necessarily talking about your home. Your home, it may or may not depreciate. It just depends on how they maneuver the numbers in the housing market right now. Those numbers are so volatile, man, that the way they maneuver them, you just can't trust it. It's not like it once was. So, but we're talking about vehicles and toys and things like your boats and bikes and just crap like that, man. Just whatever little thing you got going on, your fucking hunting club or fishing club or whatever it is you do. When you think about these things, man, you have to keep in mind that those things aren't gonna make you any money. Those things aren't gonna get you any wealthier. Those things aren't gonna get you any investments. A vehicle is only an investment if it has your company name on the side of it and it's actually being paid for by your company. If you have any vehicle that's not being paid for by your company, it is a debt. If you have any residential property that you live in, it is not an asset, it is a debt, unless you own it outright. Your residential home that you live in is a debt, it is not an asset. You can't do anything with it. You can refinance it, but you can't move it around like an asset. You understand? You simply can't. You get a few points on your credit score. But credit score is only relative to debt. If you've never had any debt, you don't have a credit score. Not worth mentioning, you build your credit score by increasing your debt and showing your trustworthiness in paying your debt. So the credit score number, of course, you need it to be at a certain spot if you want to do things. But I'm going to tell you, the more you focus on getting your money, I'm going to tell you right there ain't a man around nowhere that got $250,000 or more in the bank that really care about his credit score as much as everybody else. Yes, you care about it because it's a number that as you buy things and improve your standing, yes, it grows. So yes, there are some things you can do where you get to the point you may be like, okay, well, you go into a dealership to buy a car and you're looking at it and you're like, well, there are some benefits they may give you because your credit score is high. But if you got money, you're going in, man, you're paying cash for a car. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I've ever known who has paper, they pay cash for cars. And I know some people may say, well, you pay cash for a car, you already losing, $10,000 off of when you drive it off the lot. Okay, if you go in there and don't pay cash for it, you losing $10,000 off the value. But the difference is when you pay cash for it, you pay the sticker price for it. When you go in there and get a car note and your ass got to pay it off in 72 months, then guess what? You paying a whole lot more in interest. So what we're talking about is interest rates. Like people who think like that are victims of interest rates. Interest rates are your enemy, homie. You know what I'm saying? High interest rates are your enemy. Low interest rates are your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Interest rates are the enemy. In your personal debt. Personal debt, interest rates, man, is a hook. It's a hook to get your ass hooked into getting into more personal debt. The only personal debt you should have is personal debt that you absolutely need to have. Absolutely need to have. I got a partner right now, man. Boy ain't got no family. Boy ain't got no kids. Boy ain't got none of that, man. Boy living $1 million crib, man. He just wanted to have $1 million crib. You know what I'm saying? Of course he didn't pay cash for it. You ain't gonna you're gonna have some trouble. Your ass go pay $1 million for cash for a crib, but he just got it, man. There are rooms in that motherfucker that he got decorated, man, he don't even use. He just got it. Just to say he got it. And of course, a man can do whatever he want to do with his money. I'm not trying to govern what anybody does with that money, but I'm telling you that being in debt for your whole fucking life is not the life to live. That's why so many people are retiring and they realize they don't have enough money to retire on because guess what? They still owe shit. There are men in their 50s and 60s, man, that are still flipping new trucks, buying a new truck every man. If you 70 years old, man, your ass don't need no new truck. You ain't finna do no work in it. Not for the most part. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, that's business. Michael Clark, that's business. We're talking about personal debt. If you go buy that, if you go buy a crib to, if you get in debt to buy income producing real estate, of course. When it comes to business, I'm telling you, man, business loans and that's totally different. It's totally different ball game. You understand? That's an investment. So yeah, we talk about night and day. Now, let's talk about this, man. Once you sit down and make your goals out, your debt-free goals, then you got to sit down because your goal is to pay off these debts. Man, you'll be surprised at how much credit card debt the average American has, man. You know what I'm saying? Even if you've got child support arrears, focus on knocking it out, man. I'm telling you, your life will be easier if you don't. Because if you got $10,000 or more in child support arrears, man, you can't leave the country. You know what I'm saying? You can't leave the country. So you got to look at debts, things that you owe that are just sitting there piling up interest. You have got to knock them out. So you got to write down how much to pay off every quarter, and you got to stick to it. Now, let me help you understand something. You're not going to be balling. You're not going to be able to do a lot of the things you've been doing. Your shopping going to be cut back. All of these things that you want to do, they're going to be cut back some. You understand? You're going to cut back on a bunch of those things. You're going to have to because all the extra money you have is going to have to go to paying off these debts. You got to pay off your debts, man. You got to. Nothing kills you more than interest rates on debts because once some shit gets past due, the interest rate balloons. If you look at like a credit card offer and you got, let's say you got, you got 0% APR, or you got, let's do a round number. You got 9.9% APR. That's a nice round number that, entry level people can get on some cards. Okay, you got 9.9% APR. If you're late on one payment, that shit can balloon to 27.9% or 29.9%. And guess what? It don't come back down. You understand? Once it's there, it's there. That's a hell of a lot of interest, man. That's a hell of a lot. That's three times the interest. And you think it don't make a difference, but it does because that interest pops on every purchase. Not just on the total bill at the end of the month, every purchase. So let's look at this, man. Well, on some cars, every purchase. But most people don't read the fine print. They just know they got a credit card. You know what I'm saying? I got an aunt, man. I was chopping it up with her the other day, man. And she was saying that she got an offer for a black card. You know what I'm saying? Unlimited black card. And she was like, oh, hell no. Hell no. I ain't finna do that. Like she said, as soon as she got the offer, man, she looked at it and she was like, oh, hell no. Say the offer itself scared her. You know what I'm saying? She said, literally, the offer itself scared her. She was like, oh, hell no. Wait a minute. What the hell is this? Oh, hell no. Man, she say, man, she couldn't cut it up fast enough. You know what I'm saying? She said she couldn't cut it up fast enough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because she's already got a couple of cards that have really high limits on them. You know what I'm saying? And she just said, man, there was no need to get that. There was just no need to get it. Good information, SO. Now, the next thing you do, you got to write out a monthly budget. And man, hey, let's be honest about something. Got 81 people in here right now. Man, y'all be honest. Everybody in here that budgets every month, that writes out a monthly budget every month, put a 1 in the chat. And don't be lying and shit, man. Everybody who plans out a monthly budget where you sit down and budget monthly, even if you got an accountant to do it, or however you do it, put a 1 in the chat, man, if you actually, for real, Budget your like budget on paper or in a spreadsheet or however you're gonna do it every month. All right, Elijah, Navarra, AB, keep it 100. Salute to you, brother, for keeping it 100. CP, Abdullah, yeah. Two country cuz, I don't do it. All right, country cuz, our banks, keeping it 100. SO store, SO, that's a great point. SO says we budget but don't always stick to it. That's another thing. When you budget, you got to stick to it. Mr. B said, I spend excessively. Hey, man, hey, a lot of people do, bro. A lot of people do. Okay, I say 5G doing. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, that man, that money save up so quick. You'll be like, damn, what have I been blowing money on? Literally, what have I been blowing money on, man? AVP lifestyle is literally on my whiteboard right now. Okay, bet, bet, bet. So these are the type of things, man, that we have to look into, man. Which on the one. So these are the type of things, man, that we have to look at, man. We have to keep it 100 with ourselves about these things. When you plan out a monthly budget, you know what I'm saying? Then this is how you stick to your budget, and this is how you improve your budget. This is something that I've done. Cut something in half or out completely every couple of months. See, don't try to do a complete budget overhaul. If you're not sticking to a budget and you're not planning your finances, man, don't try to jump out there on the porch and do that shit all at one time. That's like somebody need to lose 50 pounds, man. You're gonna try to lose 50 pounds in a month. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take you. You listen. If you didn't get into this debt in 1 month, don't try to get your ass out of it in 1 month. You see what I'm saying? Cut something in half or out completely every couple of months. You know what I'm saying? Do some, man. Listen, look at what older people do and do that. You understand? You get those little clip outs, man. You get those little advertisement papers in your mailbox, man. Hey, man, clip some of those coupons if you need them. You know what I'm saying? Go to grocery stores that have shit that you use on sale. You know what I'm saying? Listen, bro. When I grocery shop, if it ain't on sale, I don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? If it's not on sale, I don't buy it. I'll wait until it's on sale because they rotate the sales. All the most popular items are always on sale. So if it's not on sale, I don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? So let's say I catch bell peppers on sale. I buy them, cut them up, freeze them. You know what I'm saying? If they on sale, man, let's say I get bell peppers 89 cents a piece. Man, I'll probably buy about 15 of them, cut them up, freeze them. So I got them in the freezer because they may not go on sale for another month. And when they're not on sale, they be like 189. So we're talking about 15 bell peppers. I just spent an extra dollar on them. That's 15 extra dollars I spent on 15 bell peppers. You know what I'm saying? All those little nuances like that, man, they add up. But only if you sticking to a budget. You know what I'm saying? So Phantom Mute, man, I appreciate the $5 super chat. Brother said thumbs up. We need to hear this, even if it cut a little bit. Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw it drop out a little bit. So appreciate the super chat, bro. So these type of little nuances, man, you do those things, man. I mean, listen, if you're gonna get a card, man, get a gas card, man. Get like for wherever gas, a Shell gas card or whatever, something that give you cash back, something that kick back something for money that you already got to spend. Like you have to do this, man. You know what I'm saying? If you use PayPal Business, man, get a PayPal Business card, man. They have some great deals with the PayPal. Even if you just get a PayPal Business debit card, you get a PayPal Business debit card, man. They give you cash back. You know what I'm saying? So you have a meeting with some people at a restaurant, bam, foot the bill. You're gonna get some cash back when if you're going wherever you got to go. Where just check it out. Check it out. I don't give you all the details about the card, but these are the type of things where if you're already using these services, and you already got money going into these services, go ahead and figure out a way, man, to get some kickback. And never tell yourself that ain't no money. You understand? Never tell yourself there ain't no money. I had a partner, man, back when the H2 Hummers dropped, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody in the hood were riding Hummer, man. So, man, when the gas prices got high, man, you ain't see no Hummers on the street. We talking about, boy, man, they were probably making, man, 30, 40, 50,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? That gas went up, man. They won't fit drive no Hummer and put all that gas in it. And the money wouldn't have been nothing. It's the expenditure. You know what I'm saying? It's the expenditure. Like, you need money for the things you actually enjoy in life, not to just be tricking it off on shit that don't matter. So another thing is this, man. When and do a clutter cleanse. Look around your crib, man. All that stuff you don't use, man, let me tell you something. Sell it. Everything you got that can sell it. If you looking at something you ain't used, sell it. I know a cat right now with a riding lawnmower, man, but he pays somebody else to cut his grass because he never has time. He's always in and out of town. But he got a riding lawnmower, man, that's like a year old, man, probably been used by 5 times, just sitting in this garage. I'm like, homie, sell that shit, boy. You can get over $1,000 for it. You know what I'm saying? He paid about 18 for it. I said, bro, you can get, maybe 1,200 for that joint, man. Maybe even more than that. If you just, if you sell it on the open market, if you try to go through, something else, but if you sell it on the open market, bro, you probably get, man, 1,200 for that joint. He just got it sitting there, man, never using it. It's just sitting there getting old in the garage. I'm like, bro, look, you got to clutter cleanse all the things around you. I know you got some stuff around you right now you don't use, man. You holding on to for sentimental value or some shit, or whatever reason. You had a bike, then you bought a new bike. I mean, a pedal bike. Extra a pedal bike that you actually pedal up and down the street, nigga, not a motorcycle. But even if you've got a motorcycle, man, if you got a motorcycle and you don't have time to ride it, sell it. If you got a boat and you don't have time to fish, sell it. You know what I'm saying? You're talking to a cat that just sold my boat last year. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't have time. The only time I had to fish, just run to the lake right quick and fish from the bank. You know what I'm saying? So all my fishing episodes on the Thump Chasers channel, man, they're gonna be fishing from the bank. I don't have time to load the boat, take the boat out, maintain the boat, go out there. I don't have time. I only have a couple of hours time to fish, man, because I be rolling. You understand what I'm saying? And so these are the things you have to do, man. Clutter cleanse, create some revenue, create a stash. I call it a stash pot of revenue. Create that stash pot of revenue from selling all that shit. Get it from around you, man. Everything has a dollar value on it. What the hell? Hey, yo, the stream keep dropping in and out, man. Y'all bear with me. Y'all bear with me on this, man. But everything has a dollar amount, man. Everything can have a insurances, switch insurances. You know what I'm saying? Always be looking for a better deal on your auto insurance. Always be looking for a better deal on your homeowner's insurance or your renter's insurance. Whatever you got, you have to be adamant about shaving dollars off what you spend, man. Because let me tell you something. You can always make more money, which is one of those things that you probably need to focus on, making more money. But that's the last thing on this list. It's easier to shave off what you spend than it is to make more money, because you only got 24 hours in the day to make money. And you still got to sleep, you still got to eat, you still got to relax and have time to yourself to declutter mentally. So you can't work 24 hours a day. So you have to shave off what you spend. That's the best thing, man. So I don't really know what's up with the stream, man. It's dropping in and out, man, but we'll see. We're just gonna keep working with it, man. Another thing you have to do is this, and this is one of the major things. This is why most of us get into debt in the first place. You got to fight that lifestyle creep up. If you don't know what lifestyle creep up is, that means that if you're making $100,000, you live a life that you can sustain off that. If you start making $250,000, you creep up your lifestyle, and now you're living a life that $250,000 can support. So it's not doing you any good to be making extra $150,000 a year, because you're spending it out living a better lifestyle, or so you think. You make $500,000, you move up again. So the house you lived in when you were at 100,000, you don't even look at that house as anything to be concerned about anymore. Hey, I don't know why the stream keep dropping in and out, man, but it is. I don't know why the stream keep dropping in and out, man, but it done dropped in and out about 14 times already, man. I don't know what's going on with it. Y'all bear with me though, man. Like I'm looking at it. It's literally dropped out. I done dropped frames. I'm talking about 14 times already. So I don't know what's up with the Wi-Fi, man. Y'all bear with me here, man. I'll probably go back and do this one as a premiere, man. So you got to fight that lifestyle creep up, man. If you're making 100,000 a year and you start making 250,000, don't upgrade your lifestyle. Upgrade your money. You know what I'm saying? Upgrade your investments. Upgrade your savings. If you make it 500,000, okay, from 100,000 to 500,000, okay, move up to a $200,000 lifestyle. I'm not saying just live the same lifestyle no matter how much you make, but what I'm saying, don't creep up your lifestyle every time you make more money. Making more money is not about living a better lifestyle. Making more money is about creating residual income. It's about creating passive income. It's about creating generational wealth. Like I don't grind right now for myself. I grind right now for my seeds, man. So they don't have to grind. You see what I'm saying? These are the type of things, man, that we have to keep in mind as men. As men, it's our responsibility to make sure that we provide for those who are coming behind us. And if you ain't got no seed out here, man, hey, you still need to be looking at yourself when you get 70 years old. Who the hell want to be working at 70 years old, man? I don't want to be that little dude barely able to move my feet, man, creeping around, shuffling around at Home Depot or some shit like that. Can't really do nothing. They just letting me work there. I can't lift nothing, can't move nothing, can't push nothing, can't pull nothing. I'm really just in the way. And people asking me questions and I can point out stuff to them, but I can't hardly walk fast to take them nowhere. Hey, man, I don't want that to be me. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk, man. So another thing, consider a used vehicle, man. If your ass got a brand new car, man, or you got a car you can't afford, this is the problem with us as men. We don't want to accept the fact that we can't afford the lifestyle we're trying to live. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to accept that. If you can't afford the lifestyle you live in, you got to scale back on it, homie. That's what a man does. A man looks at a situation realistically and says, you know what? I can't afford this lifestyle. I got to cut back. He doesn't say, ooh, man, he doesn't stress out about making more money. Don't make more money. Spend less money. Oh, man, but they're going to repo my car. Okay, don't let them repo it. Drive that motherfucker back and drive it back and tell them, hey, man, I'm going to go ahead and drop this out, man. Let the people come get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about having a car repo. You're gonna spend 10 years in debt that you can't pay off, and you're gonna be, mess up your finances even more trying to hold on to something you can't afford. The sooner you let a lifestyle go that you can't afford, the quicker you can start building a lifestyle you can afford. I'm telling you, you gotta look at life this way, man. Because I'm going to be honest with you. You can't afford nothing that you can't pay cash for. When you really want to think about what you can afford, if you ain't got the, I ain't even saying you got to pay cash for a car. You don't have to. But if you don't have the cash to pay for it, if you want to, you can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? The majority of us should be driving buckets, to be honest with you. The majority of us can only afford a bucket. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. You have to understand, man, that, and you got to think about how long these contracts are. You know what I'm saying? The shortest average lease term you're gonna get, or mortgage term you're gonna get on a home, man, is 15 years. Most go 30. So you're talking about 15 years. You signing on line for a debt for 15 years to pay damn near double. You're talking about a car. You're signing on line for a debt for 60 to 72 months to pay a whole lot more money than the motherfucker is worth. I'm telling you, bro. You have to keep in mind, brothers, that your finances, you're not gonna get any more 2018 to make any more money. That shit is gone. All the money you blew from 2018, you can't get it back. All the money you blown so far in 2019, you can't get it back. You got to look at 2020 and say, okay, my 2020 will not be like my 2019 was. And as a matter of fact, homies, let's get on this journey. We're going to get on this journey together. I'm going to be there with y'all on this journey, man. You understand? I'm going to be there with y'all. We got to come out of this thing we in. All the brothers in the chat who already have experience doing this thing. Tacman, I see Tacman put some good information out there. SO put some good information out there. Beasley putting some out there. A lot of people putting some good money out there. It's you have to look at these things, man. This is the alpha sphere. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to down nobody else or act like we better than nobody else or put alpha above. We don't care about that. We trying to help one another, man, achieve the ultimate goal of being the most alpha version of ourselves. And the first thing you have to do is control your finances, because contrary to popular belief, this world we live in is based on a money model. You know what I'm saying? It's based on a financial model, man. You got to get out here and get it. Mo Pierre, what's good, brother? I see you in the $15 super chat. Homie said, yes, this financial advice is needed for you brothers in the alpha sphere. Stay alpha, NYC love. No doubt, brother. Appreciate you being in the joint with us, man. So, man, that's all. Man, save for a used car. Because I'm going to tell you like this. And I'm gonna tell you, man, the top two brands, and I know somebody gonna be in the chat. I don't know nobody want to drive that. We want to drive, y'all. We want to drive American Muscle. We want to drive the Chevy Camaro. Hey, man, let me tell you something. If you're gonna buy a used car, man, always buy a foreign vehicle. A used car, the best used vehicles you can get are Toyota, Honda, and Kia. I'm telling you, for the bumper warranty. I ain't talking about 100,000 powertrain warranty. I'm talking about 100,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty. You're talking about trusting in the quality of your vehicle, and they really don't look bad anymore. Matter of fact, they look good. So I'm saying, as a man, you got to stop thinking from the perspective of what's going to impress these women, because what impresses these women is debt. That's why they're in so much debt. They don't care about debt. They love debt. They always spend money they can't afford. They all got $10,000 credit cards, got a $10,000 credit card debt, got 4 credit cards all on maxed out. You know what I'm saying? They love to do that. That's just their thing. They got $100,000, $200,000 student loan debt. They don't care about having $350,000 worth of debt. You understand? You got to do what's right for you, because there's a lifestyle you can live, homie, where you're going to live a lifestyle that's so pleasing to you, brother, that if you want to interact with women, man, you're going to interact with beautiful women anyway, because you're going to be able to go beautiful places. You're going to be able to do beautiful things, and you're going to have a joy about yourself for having that financial freedom that they don't see everywhere. Because I'm going to tell you, brothers, financial freedom brings a different set of joy. It don't matter how you financially free. If you hustle in the streets, when you grinding on the low end, but when you come up, man, and you get your first bowls, and you get your first birds, man, I'm telling you, your whole mindset changes, because you become financially free. You start thinking like a boss, moving like a boss. And I'm telling you, all being a boss is about is being financially free, man. Having financial freedom. And how do you do that? By eliminating your debt. That's really, we're not going to even count your residence as a debt. If you bought a home, or you bought a condo, or even if you rent, I'm not going to get into this back and forth. It's better to rent. No, it's better to buy. We don't care what's better. What's better is to do what the hell you can afford. Period. To do what you can afford. When people tell me, well, you rent for all these years, you ain't gonna never own it. Nigga, if you buying for 30 years, you ain't gonna ever own it. If you 25 and you buying a house and you got a 30-year mortgage, man, you're gonna be 55. You're talking about 55? Man, you think boy, you got to be, see, I don't like those arguments where people try to tell you that what you're doing isn't the best thing because they're not doing it. You understand? However you want to look at it, man. If some people feel like, okay, it's okay to have a 30-year mortgage and end up paying, $500,000 for a $275,000 house, they feel like it's okay for that. Other people don't. Other people just don't feel that way. It's just the bottom line. Because the thing is, you can own your residence that you live in, but it's still never really going to be an asset. You know what I'm saying? It's just never going to be an asset. It's something you can turn around and sell, but, assets aren't what you sell. Those are goods and services. Assets are what you move around. You can move assets. You understand? You can create different opportunities with assets. Goods and services, all you can do with them is sell them and buy them. And that's what your residential house, the one you live in, it's just some shit you can sell and buy. You know what I'm saying? Of course, once you own it, you can rent it, you can do all that. But at 55, man, shit, I don't want to be dealing with no just starting at 55, man, to be dealing with renters and all of that, man. It's too late in the game, man. That's my outlook on it. You understand? But hey, I know brothers right now, man. They got wonderful cribs, man. They got nice fly ass cribs, man. They got families. They living well. So I don't knock them, because I frankly don't care what your outlook is on what you like. I just think the goal is for us all to be debt free. Like we don't want to live under a mountain of debt. Like, that's just no way to live, man. I don't want to live on a mountain debt, and I don't want that from my brother. And like the homie George Macon always says, man, you got to want for your brother what you want for yourself. I want myself to be debt free, and I want my brother to be debt free as well, because I know what comes with that financial freedom. I know how it feels to not have a bunch of bills in your fucking mailbox every month that's coming from all over the place, and you owe 50,000 people. I also know how it feels to have all those bills coming to your mailbox where you feel like you owe everybody in the world. And every time no matter how much money you get, there's always enough bills to swallow that shit up for you. I know how that feels, brothers, and I'm telling you, the other side, where you don't have all those bills coming in, that is better, because you know what? The more you eliminate debt, you don't have to work as hard. You know what I'm saying? And nobody wants to work hard. You know what I'm saying? You want the results of hard work. You want to figure out how to work smarter than harder. But nobody wants to just bust their butt every day, man, to pay bills. Nobody wants that. So another thing, man, you got to do is this, man. You got to make a place to use extra money. You got to figure out something to use extra money because we're not in this savings environment. You can never do the. Let me tell you something. The quickest way to never get rich is to save money. You can never save yourself into being rich. You can never save. If you're thinking about a rainy day fund, that's a feminine mindset. Females have a rainy day fund. We don't worry about no damn rain, nigga. We men. We'll go outside butt naked in the rain. It could be thunder and lightning and everything. We don't care about the rain. What we're trying to do is build a shelter. We're not trying to keep a rainy day fund. We're trying to build a shelter to always be out of the rain. And to do that, you got to figure out what to put your money in to make it grow. Your money has to grow. You're either going to invest it in business, you're going to invest it in yourself, or you're going to put it in some stocks. You're going to do something, but you have to grow money. You can't just let it sit to the side because all it's going to do is get molded and mildew like a whole bunch of money wrapped up in plastic bags in the basement. You know what I'm saying? You get down there, man, you look in there, man, you done lost about, but shit, man, sometime, man, close to 10,000. You know what I'm saying? Just mildewing in there. Money sitting in the bag, mildewing. Stuck together. You can't even use it. It's molded and shit. You can't even use it. Another thing is this, man. Freeze your credit card. If you got a credit card, freeze it. Freeze it. Now, I know that's a daunting task to some because some are so caught up in the credit card, they're like, oh, shit, hold up, man. If I freeze my credit card, I can't pay. Hey, man, it's going to be tough, but you got to fight your way out of this debt mountain, man. You got to fight your way out of this debt mountain, man. Freeze your credit card. Prioritize your debt payoff. Your debt payoff has to be. Now, let me tell you how you do that. You can use one of two principles. You can use an avalanche principle, which is you pay off the interest rate highest to lowest. So you take the debts with the highest interest rate, pay them off first. And then that's how you go. Or you can do the snowball effect. You can pay them in order of lowest amount to highest amount. The lowest amount are the easiest to pay off, and they give you the greatest sense of accomplishment. So if you got 10 debts, you pay off the lowest to the highest. Once you pay off the 4 lowest, you feel like, damn, I'm making some leeway. You feel better about the whole process. Now, that's for someone who really needs that motivation to keep going on the process. But if you do the avalanche, you pay off the one with the highest interest rate to the lowest, then you start to pay off the debt that has the greatest, what I call the greatest triple up effect. The debt that has the greatest possibility or the greatest propensity rather, of doubling up on you. You know what I'm saying? The highest interest rate is going to be higher every month. You don't pay it. So you want to so those are two ways to look at it, man. And another thing, man, live check to check to pay your debt. It's niggas that live check to check because of their debt. They live check to check because they're getting more debt. Man, live check to pay your debt. Cut everything out that you ain't got to do. You're going to have a boring life. You're going to be at the crib. You're going to be sitting down. You ain't going to have no cable TV. But then you don't need cable. All you need is Wi-Fi. Everything you want to watch, you can watch it online. You know what I'm saying? You do not need, cut everything that you don't need out, man, and focus on knocking this debt out, brothers. I'm telling you, you can, listen, if you focus real hard, man, you can get debt free in 1 to 3 years. Whatever your debt is, you can get debt free in 1 to 3 years. And a lot of times, man, once you start knocking off some debts and start piling up some income, another place to look at to use that extra money is call some of these people and see if they give you a one-time payoff. You'll be surprised. You could owe a company $20,000, man, and they give you a one-time payoff for $13,000. You know why? Because if you're gonna pay them that one-time payoff, they'll knock the interest out. So you can pay $13,000 as opposed to paying $20,000, and that's just an example. Hopefully, none of us needs to call a company that we owe $20,000 and be like that. But if that's the case, they will take a smaller payoff if you're gonna pay them a lump sum, man, because they just want their money. They really don't give a fuck about the interest. The interest is what they charging you if you're gonna pay over time. But if you decide to pay them off, man, a lot of these companies, man, that's all. If you go into debt consolidation or a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, man, that's all they're gonna do. They're going to get the companies, man, to eat the interest rate. And then you're going to have that one bill. You're going to have that attorney fee. You can call the companies yourself and try that before you go that route, man. Now, another thing is this, man. Consolidate your debt with a personal consolidation loan. Now, you can do a personal debt consolidation loan, which if you just got a lot of debt and you can't see no way around trying to pay it off with what you make, or if you already made all the money you can to get in debt and ain't no possibility of making no more money, then you might want to look into a debt consolidation loan. I'm not against that. You know what I'm saying? Because some people need that to get out of this thing, man. Or, file, you can file a church chapter 13 bankruptcy, man. Don't let nobody shame you, man. That's what you got to do to get your money right. If you got to get your money and your life under control because you made some bad financial decisions, okay, man, fine. That's just what you got to do. But go do that. And the last thing on this list, man, is make more money. If you can make more money, make more money. But when you make more money, if you're going to get a secondary source of income, use that entire source of income to pay off your debt. Don't do nothing else with it but pay off your debt. So if you can get an extra $2,000 a month, that's going to help you get out of debt quicker because you got an extra $2,000 a month to throw at your debts. So if you get extra $2,000 a month in a year, you should be able to throw $24,000 at your debts. You understand? If you get an extra $3,000 a month, you should be able to throw $36,000 at you. And if you lucky enough to get an extra $4,000 a month, besides what you already make, keep living your life. Take that $48,000 and throw it at your debt. For most of us as men, that 1 year making $4,000 extra dollars a month, if you can do that, a lot of us can't. But if you can do that, then $48,000 should get you debt free. If $48,000 won't get you debt free, homie, you probably need to file Chapter 13, man. Just to be honest with you, your ass is too far in there. You're too far in there. You ain't gonna never get out working it this way. It's gonna take you about 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? So I say either do a Chapter 13, man, or even listen, bro. The worst case scenario, go talk to a financial advisor. Get you a consultation. Even if they charge you $125 for the consultation, do it. Pay the consultation with a true financial advisor and see if they recommend that you do a bankruptcy. If so, don't let nobody shame you, man, because you got to get yourself out of trouble. You understand? You shouldn't be ashamed to have to get yourself out of trouble. You should be ashamed you get yourself back in trouble again, but now if you got to get yourself out of financial trouble, man. Pressure busts pipes and makes diamonds. Appreciate the $5 super chat, bro. Homer said way better than talking about women for 2 hours. I'm almost debt free and ready to buy my home next year. Salute, OG. No doubt, brother. Appreciate you being in the joint, man. Perfect example right there, man. Live the life you want to live, bro. Oh yeah, they get their money away to women for real, man. But Beasley, I feel like, man, touching on that one, you know what I'm saying? If you're in that situation, man, then you got other issues. You ain't ready for the alpha journey to being debt free. First, you got to stop being a beta male simp man, John, and tricking off on these bras. You understand? You got bigger issues. So, homies, I just want to come in here, man, and chop it up with y'all, man. Roll up in here. Drop this on y'all right quick, man. Do something a little different, man. Come in here and give us some information, man, that we can use as men to build ourselves to the most alpha version of ourselves. Because I truly believe in financial freedom as being one of the keys, one of the prerequisite requirements to being a true alpha male, man. And so from now on, man, we're gonna start incorporating some different information into this thing, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Yeah, that's another way. Valdezberg. Great point. Another way to get out there or get ahead is get a passport and go do government contracting. Yeah, for sure. But it depends on what kind of debt you're in. If you got a certain amount of IRS debt, you're not going nowhere. If you got a certain amount of child support debt, you're not going nowhere. If you got I believe you got a certain amount of student loan debt, you're not going nowhere. I think they're starting to get to the point, man, where they're starting to restrict your ability to move with some of these types of debts. So look into that, though. If you can move doing that, man, look into that. That's a great point, Valdez. Great point. So, hey, listen, brothers, I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. We'll be back on, man, later on this evening, man. I had to take a couple of days off, man, because, just because of the beta male energy that's been going around, man, the back and forth energy, man, I don't like that, man. So in my real life, I don't deal with that. I detox from them situations. So I detox for a minute, man. But we back on the grind again, man. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Y'all go ahead, man. Let everybody know that 2020 is on the way, man. And what we doing, man, we becoming debt-free alpha males in 2020, man. That's our goal, debt-free alpha males. You know what I'm saying? See, there's a group of men who haven't even started to build life yet. Those are young men just leaving college, just leaving high school, going out to the world. I'm talking about the men who've been out here living their life already, man, and got all this debt piled up. We got to reverse ourselves, man. We got to reverse our lives back to before we made these mistakes and lived inside the matrix. We're outside of the matrix, so we have to move our entire lives outside of the matrix. Essel Stoic, appreciate the $2 super chat, bro. Home said great info. Appreciate these topics, BOA. No doubt, brother. I appreciate it, man. Now, so yeah, you can listen to it on Playback PA. I'm gonna leave this one up, man, for a minute. So I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Y'all avoid the haters, avoid the fakers, avoid the betas. And it's always alphas up, betas down. Homies. Peace.